Okay, I'll go ahead and start with the Agape Garden now. So Jeannie provided this for me, and I embellished it, Jeannie. I added some more pictures and I added
Thank you.
so here we go. Okay, since breaking ground in mid-2018 for the first native plant specimens in a small corner of the Agape Community Garden in Sioux City, Los Hills Wild Ones, and Northwest Iowa group of Sierra Clubs have been expanding a native plants educational section, which by this spring's planned addition of 64 plants, plus 9 more native shrubs, will soon boast a coverage of approximately 1/3 of Agape's total real estate. It must be shared that this transformation is fulfilling Agape's founder, Michelle Baque's vision to nurture all creatures, great and small. This is the location of it. You can see Hamilton Boulevard on the map, and you can see 15th Street, and you go over to the flower did not get an exact place. It's where the blue arrow is. Okay.
We don't see your screen,
Oh,
but if anybody would just,
you can't see the
no,
screen.
we're seeing,
I can see the screen.
Diane, we can see
Oh.
your screen just fine.
I just left it.
I don't see your screen. I see you. I'm sorry. Why don't I see you? I'm sorry. I'll stay out of it.
Oh, you see the screen.
No, I see you.
Diane, I can see your screen. You're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's something with Jeannie's.
Mhm.
Okay.
Of course.
I'll help her figure it
Jeannie. Okay. So anyway, it's where the blue arrow is. Here, can you see my pointer there?
Yes.
So a block and a half west of Hamilton Boulevard on West 15th in Sioux City. And they have a Facebook page, Agape Community Garden. Thanks also to the sweat equity of Sierra Club members and Wild Ones members in planting, weeding, and erecting signs and kiosks, along with the wood chips donated by Dorothy Pico Nature Center, which we just distributed to create walking paths. The educational garden is already drawing many human, animal, and insect browsers. There have been many events there. And very, educational, and people doing volunteer work. And remember that this is also a vegetable garden. The rest of it, there's an herb garden. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on. They have a lending library and some places for donating food, so people can do that, as well as go to the vegetable garden and pick food. Now, the lending library was recently embellished with nice painted stuff saying lending library. It didn't used to have that, and Valerie did that. Thank you, Valerie. And you can see the kids that enjoy this, and some of you will recognize Andrea and a group of kids that did patchwork prairie work one time. That was just one of many events. Now, there's only one problem we've experienced, and it occurred last summer when this gorgeous lavender flowered plant arrived. After some research, we found out that it was not only non-native, but extremely aggressive. The only way to remove this was to dig it up. The plant had very large tuberous roots that had already spread for yards. The takeaway from this experience is that once the ground is disturbed, the unintended consequence is that all nature is hardwired to fill the void, was knapweed. And this is the result of digging up a lot of stuff there, really nasty. I'd like to add a disaster was thwarted by Jeannie recognizing that something was wrong. And that is because she got to know the plants that she had added to the garden. So I highly recommend that you get to know your plants. So if something pops up like that, you're going to catch it right away, because it could have gotten a lot worse. And now Jeannie will answer questions.
I have one thing to add that I didn't write when I sent that to you. Normally, we compost everything from the garden, and I suggest that with most things. But when it came to knapweed, we put them in that plastic bag, which I hate to use, tied it all up, and that went to the garbage because we did not want that to, any of those seeds to get into anything.
What year was the knapweed a problem? Was that the first after the
No,
growing season or?
no, it was 2020.
Oh,
We weren't, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure because none of
Yes,
us,
you said that in
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
because we weren't really holding any, normally we hold programs for neighbors and we weren't doing any of that. So it was just fun to get out there and work on things. And there are a few people in this audience who have helped. And so at this point though, just getting out there and seeing, but I love lavender. So that's probably the thing that drew my attention. I just thought it was so beautiful, but it just did not seem right. I knew it didn't look like what we normally have. And it looked like an aster in a way, but it was springtime or it was a lot earlier in the season for when they normally bloom.
so what's on tap this year for the Agape Garden?
Well, as Diane said, we did, we ordered 64 more plants. Thank you. We took advantage of the plant tray special. And Sierra Club is scheduling, we're going to try to do a program each week with the people in the neighborhood, mostly children's programs. And some Valerie came and to the garden about, 3 weeks ago or so, and she had a lot of great ideas. So we're going to try to make those happen. We're going to change the herb garden, make it a lot more attractive, which is kind of our baby too. All the vegetable gardening is neighborhood, but the native plants and that type of thing. Oh, excuse me, there is one more thing. We used to have shade and now we don't. So the bench, we had a couple benches at the end of the native plants section for people to, rest or visit. And we had a picnic table donated in the center of the garden. And that was over by an area where there were a lot of, it was mostly Chinese elm, I think, that was there. We had what I consider a lovely mulberry tree because we used it for the kids. Anyway, it was all cut down. So we are hoping to work together with the community to try to get a couple arbors in the section where the 2 benches are in the native plants. We're planning on building an arbor, just a kind of a simple arbor, and put Virginia creeper on each side or end of the arbor and then have it grow over the top. I love wild grapes, but I think that it would be better not to have the birds be picking the wild grapes above where we're going to be sitting on the bench. So we're going to be doing some shade, getting a little bit more shade for our guests again, and planting some more plants and putting in another section.
Sounds fantastic, Jeannie. Sounds like quite a lot of good plans. I thought your garden tour last year that we had at Agape, along with a few other community gardens, was very good. Looking forward to this year. I think Agape's also on tap to be on tour. Is that correct?
Yes, yes, we'll have a community. I talked to Janice, who I believe is on this Zoom. We will probably revisit the Unitarian Church because they have that new section they put in last year behind the church. They have 2 sections now, so you can see the progress. In fact, both of these gardens, you can see the progress from its inception till now. So it's kind of nice to be able to see that. And I'm pretty sure that the Shepherd Garden at the Presbyterian Church will be included in that. So we'll do a revisiting of those 3 as a group on the same day.